Glory, glory, Man United! Welcome back to the webcast, All Sports One Web. It is Wednesday, so we are talking Premier League. But if you were able to join us last night when we were doing NFL picks, we also did a good slate of Premier League picks because we had games today, including a top 6 matchup as Tottenham Hotspur traveled up north to Old Trafford to take on Manchester United. A lot of questions going into that game, especially with the number of games that have been played. Who's going to start up front for Manchester United? Ronaldo playing the last couple of games. Will he feature in this one? How is Tottenham and Antonio Conte going to cope with the increasing number of games, having played some big games recently in the Champions League as well as against Arsenal and so on and so forth. Manchester United come through in the end, over 28 attempts from Manchester United at home as they get the 2-0 win there at home against Tottenham. How are you feeling about that performance today?
We played so bad. I mean, I can't, after we played Everton, that was arguably our best game tactically, and the way we looked, everything was, we looked solid and sound, but it was against Everton. Then we go play Man United, who have, considerably more talent on their team. And it shows that we can beat the teams we're supposed to. But, we tied Chelsea and we got, pretty fortunate with that. We lost to Arsenal pretty badly. And now we lose to Man United pretty badly. It doesn't look good, as far as, it's a long season and the teams that we should beat, we have been, but I don't know if we can't take some points off of, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, all that. I don't think we can win the league because that City and Chelsea, they take points off of these teams. And we're not in a great spot. I have never liked the way Conte plays, but if it wins games, it wins games. But I'm not going to give up on them, but it's frustrating because we looked so poor. When we had the ball, we looked decent, but we just never had the ball because we almost prefer them to just keep it and get 28 shots. And it's like, well, of course they're going to score when they shoot 28 times. I think we shot like 3 times, and guess what? We got nothing. So yeah, I'm frustrated.
That's at halftime there, 0-0 going into halftime, I think is exactly what Conte would have wanted. That's the way that they're going to set up. They're going to wait for their moment to counter. Getting in at halftime really helps facilitate that because they can still keep their game plan, but then start to take a little bit more risks as the game gets in the later stages with Kane and Son and push them further up the field.
We were only 0-0 because Lloris had about 3 or 4 really good saves.
Yeah, and it didn't last that long into the second half. Manchester United scoring the 47th minute with a Fred from outside the box. I don't know what to say about it. That just sums it up right there. Fred from outside the box gets Manchester United on the board.
He had a great game, by the way.
Fred awesome. And what's been Ronaldo didn't play in this one, even left the bench early. He didn't even wait for the final whistle to go into the tunnel. But United now have beaten Arsenal, Liverpool, and Tottenham all at home. And after their poor start under Erik Ten Hag, they've really kind of turned that around. They got Chelsea now in 4 days' time at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea playing to a 0-0 draw today. Again, we saw Sterling come in as a sub and play as a wing back. Pulisic looked really bright, which was fantastic to see. Him and Loftus-Cheek were the only 2 people. Loftus-Cheek playing as the right wing back with Reece James's injury. He's going to be out past the World Cup. Loftus-Cheek and Pulisic, really two people who were the only two that were courageous enough to actually take people on. They would get the ball at feet. They would want to dribble past one or two, do some link-up play. And I don't understand why it's like this. Sterling playing wingback is just never going to work against anyone who is half decent.
I just want to know whose idea that was.
I mean, my thing is, okay, with Sterling, when I watch him, and he started the season, he's played, now he's kind of, with Graham Potter coming in, he's kind of gone from, he's played in a wingback almost as much as he's played kind of on the wings. Now we kind of have a fluid front three going when Aubameyang's not playing and people are kind of rotating around up there, but he's not effective anywhere. And I understand the idea, just try to throw as much attacking prowess as you can in whatever positions you can, but he's just not, like, what does he do? What does he do? Him and Havertz today, I'm just watching it and I'm like, what do you do? What do you provide in terms of creativity, spark, energy, combination play, dribbling, passing? They don't provide any of it right now. I don't know if it's a lack of confidence. Sterling obviously looked a little bit better when he just decided, I'm not going to be playing on the wing. What's his name? I can never say his name correct. Chukwuemeka, who came on with Sterling and Pulisic all at the same time, who then kind of dropped back a little bit more. The player coming over from Aston Villa over the summer period to Chelsea. He looked better when Sterling moved up, but he doesn't give me anything of value specifically that I can get from Sterling. I put Sterling on so I can get what? And I can't answer that question. And I can't answer that question for Havertz. And for me, that means that they shouldn't be playing. We've played only 2 teams so far in the Premier League that are in the top half of the table currently. We now will play 4 teams that are in the top half of the table, including games against United, Arsenal, Newcastle. And I just do not see how we're going to make it through that period in terms of being able to score goals. I just don't see it. Defensively, also, Kepa has been playing absolutely fantastic these last couple of games, bailing us out. Koulibaly, he's looked okay. But really with the wingbacks, with Reece James out and Chilwell now injured, Cucurella is not it for me right now. He is not, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I get what he can bring when he's on the ball, when he's moving forward, but defensively, I just am not seeing it right now. And I'm scared of playing United this weekend.
They were explosive.
Because I don't think we can stop them.
Yeah, they were explosive today. I mean, they had, 28 shots, and arguably they should have scored 7, and like Lee Dixon kept saying, Rashford had 2 really good shots. They're both saved. And it's because he should have scored. He didn't hit it to the corners. He kind of hit it to where Lloris. Yeah, it was a good save, but it was a save he should have made because he kind of hit it at him. And you have to hit the corners.
Yeah, you can't be in that much space, especially when he got played through, kind of on the right hand side, through on goal. He had acres of space to kind of figure out where he wanted to go with it. If he wanted to go near post, far post, low or high, and like you said, he hit it kind of comfortable for Lloris there. He needs to finish that. He has the quality to finish it.
Yeah, Fernandez just kind of
the
goal he scored. He hit it to the corner.
Spot.
He picked his spot and he passed it into the corner. Lloris, it doesn't matter if he dove or preemptively dove. It doesn't matter because he hit it in the perfect spot.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Lee Dixon was saying that Michael Owen, great goal scorer, said hitting the target is not enough. You're a professional soccer player, you have to hit the target. No, that's not good enough. You have to hit a good shot. You have to put it in a good spot. And if it's saved, it's saved. But you can't just hit the target because goalies are too good.
Yeah, exactly. You got to pick a spot and put it there. And you believe that all of these players, especially when you're looking at Rashford or, at Manchester United, they have the quality to do it. So we need to expect it from them because they need to be able to do it.
Today, for me, if Ronaldo would have been playing, I think he would have scored those. If he had those 2 balls, I think he scores both of them.
Yeah, I agree. But that's the interesting question with Ronaldo. And I think a reason why he didn't play today was because of the pressing that United like to have, especially against a team like Tottenham. You're going to want to win that ball back quickly when you turn it over because you guys like to counter. And Ronaldo doesn't really help with that. He's just there to kind of sit there and score goals. So I was wondering if he was going to play. He didn't play. I think, and Ten Hag obviously gets it right because they take home all 3 points. Liverpool taking home all 3 points with Nunez's first goal at Anfield today as they beat West Ham. Firmino and Nunez starting up top, which was interesting and cool to see from Liverpool as they work to kind of keep this momentum going and rebound to climb back up the table. Everton picking up all 3 points with a beautiful goal from Almiron outside the box. A nice little RB curler from him as they beat Everton 1-0. Brentford Chelsea played to a 0-0 draw. And Southampton go to Bournemouth after us giving faith into Bournemouth and take all 3 points from the Cherries there. So, yeah, I know, right? We got more games tomorrow, 2 games tomorrow, which we've already done our picks for, but we are going to move into the weekend's games, which will start on Saturday. So still Premier League tomorrow, but we are going to enter week 13 here with our picks as we slide outside the top 500 with today's action. And we now set up 622 as we look to
come on, Adam.
On that. Hopefully with this weekend, we need that top spot. So let's go for it. Liverpool traveling to, it's a 7:30 a.m. game Eastern time. So Liverpool traveling to Nottingham Forest, the City Ground. That will be a noon-ish kick, 12:30 kickoff there in England, which means we may get an appearance of Dean Henderson in a cap, which we all love here at the webcast. But will it be enough to stop Liverpool from taking all 3 points?
He's a different animal in the cap. He really is. But I don't think so. I think Liverpool are really starting to figure it out. I'm a big fan. I mean, Klopp it didn't matter who they played. It would be a 4-3-3, and that was it. You knew which 11 were starting. Now he has more of a team that he can tactically set up. And like you said, he's playing Firmino and Nunez together up top, Salah on the right. And he's got some weapons at his disposal now. And that's once they figure it out, which it looks like they're starting to, that could be pretty scary. That was why I predicted them to win the league, was because they had more depth than they've had attacking. They've always had a decent attack with Mane and Salah, but now they added pieces. Yes, they got rid of Mane, but they got Jota, they got Nunez, they got Diaz. It's like, well, they can get goals in other ways now. And then Firmino, the resurgence of him, we all know how good he is. So I think Liverpool win this game, and I think this just keeps the train rolling for them.
Yeah, a great.
I don't think Liverpool's out of it yet.
No, great couple of days. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see if City can rebound with taking the loss this weekend. We'll see how City do. City were set to play Arsenal today or tomorrow. That got postponed due to Arsenal's makeup in the Europa League happening tomorrow, so they couldn't play both games. So the Europa League takes precedent and the Premier League gets postponed. So we'll see how Manchester City bounce back, but Liverpool are showing that they're going to maybe be able to put these pieces back together. And I agree, Liverpool, all 3 points there at the City Ground. As we move on to a great matchup between Crystal Palace traveling to Everton for this one. You and I, both big believers in Crystal Palace every single week. Great comeback performance a couple days ago there to get the 2-1 win at home. Now they travel on the road to take on Everton, who lost today away to Newcastle. So they got a shorter rest, but they will be at home at Goodison. Who do you got in this one?
The love for Crystal Palace is still high on my side. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. They just have such a great structure. They know how to play. They know how they're going to play. They know how they're going to succeed. They have a good plan in place. The pieces are starting to gel again, like we saw last year. A great start to the season. They're healthy. Everton, had a tough run in there losing at Goodison to Ronaldo and Manchester United, then going to Tottenham and taking another L, and now the third in a row away to Newcastle. They're going to be looking to return to some kind of form here at home as they stay near the bottom of the Premier League. So I actually have a draw in this one. Jordan Pickford, obviously getting back healthy, is a big reason why I think Crystal Palace will have issues scoring in this one. And so I have a low-scoring draw for this one. You jumping on? Yeah. Jumping on board with that?
Yeah, I'll fight a different battle.
Yeah. Okay. Is this going to be one of those battles? Brighton
Absolutely
traveling to City,
unless you're picking Brighton, then no, this is not a battle.
Yeah. So you have Erling Haaland held scoreless at Liverpool on the weekend.
He's going to make
coming
up
back
for it.
with vengeance against Brighton here.
Absolutely.
I would agree with that. Brighton kind of seems like they're starting to teeter-totter maybe a little bit the last couple of weeks, failing to win in their last two. Which you shouldn't, wouldn't have been a big surprise, but the way Brighton started off the season with the form that they've been in, that's actually a slump now for them, is to not pick up 3 points in 2 consecutive games. We will definitely agree on making it 3 consecutive as City take all 3 points in that one. Manchester United playing the big boys extremely well this season, wins against Arsenal, Liverpool, and Tottenham now under their belts, and great performances across the board in all 3 of those games. Can they now take that and apply it on the road as they travel to London to take on Chelsea, who were able to only split the points today against Brentford? Who do you got in this one?
If Chelsea would have played well today, then I would have said Chelsea, because Man United is not at home. They have shown that, they play really well at home. They beat the 3 big dogs. And now that we bring that up, Tottenham's lost or drew to the big dogs away from home. We haven't played anybody at home yet. So that gives me a little bit of hope. But
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the way that Chelsea's playing right now, who's going to score the goals for them? Because I think United will score on Chelsea. I know it's normally a defense first for Chelsea, which is fine, but I think United are going to put a few past just like they did against us today. I think it might be the same scenario unless you guys can find some goals. I think Pulisic needs to start. If you're going to play Sterling as a wing back for whatever reason, and Havertz hasn't contributed since he's became a Chelsea player.
He scored the winning. This is the thing, right, about Havertz, right? And people started saying this, and I just wasn't believing it. And I think people were way too premature when they said it, because he's had great moments. But everyone was saying that the reason why Havertz is still a Chelsea player, and Werner is because Havertz scored the Champions League final winner against Manchester City, and Werner did not. And
I don't agree with that, but I think he's the Chelsea player because he has a huge upside. Because he can be a great player.
His quality,
he's fantastic. It's just I think he's playing out of position. I don't think he's a striker.
Where would you have him? Kind of as
I would have him as a number 10
behind.
100%. I would have him play right off of Aubameyang.
Yeah, see, my thing with Havertz, he doesn't have the confidence, and maybe that's why he needs to get on the ball more, and that is a way to develop his confidence a little bit more. But like I said today, when Pulisic got on the ball, when Loftus-Cheek, even as a wingback, got on the ball, you could tell from their first touch and their first step that their first intention was to take on a defender. They were looking to square him up and go by him, combine, and kind of push forward. Havertz, he just does not look comfortable when he gets the ball, especially as that number 9, when you're going to have 2 kind of defenders bumping into you. I feel like Havertz needs the ball, and he needs it in space.
He needs space.
He needs to build his confidence, and then maybe he can build to that.
And I think he's good enough to not have to have space. I just think, like you're saying, he just doesn't. Yeah. He's not used to it. He doesn't have the confidence to just believe in himself and take on the defender.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. And sorry to take you off your point that you were making there, but yeah. So go ahead.
Kevin
Chelsea don't play with the number 10, which hurts Havertz. Yeah, see, I mean it's exactly it. But see, the thing is with Chelsea, especially when you look at it, the defensive side of the ball, we cannot play a back four against anyone who has any life in their attack. We cannot play a back four, so we need to play a back five, and I think that hurts when we're playing with a back five. Being able to play with kind of a number 10 like how Havertz would probably thrive.
Yeah, you need two deeper, more defensive-minded midfielders, ball control.
And Conte being injured doesn't help either. So now you got a back five, plus you throw in Jorginho and Kovacic there to kind of shield and kind of make that connection between the back and the front. And now you're left with 3 attackers after that. And so you're going to need to play with a striker, and then you got 2 more, so you can play with 2 kind of pinched in wingers or forwards there, however you want to describe those positions, which is kind of, Mason Mount, Raheem Sterling has been playing there as well. I think I agree with you. Pulisic, for me, in this game has to start.
He has to.
Because of his performance off the bench today. I think you need to build that confidence, and we need that kind of confidence. But
you need somebody to actually do something with the ball. You need somebody to drive and try and create.
Yeah.
Because even if you're playing Havertz as your number 9, if he has Pulisic wreaking havoc on the left-hand side, that second defender that's on Havertz is going to have to kind of go and help, because, you don't want him to get roasted and then be all alone, with sight on goal. So it helps everybody when you have somebody who is just willing and able to just take on any defender that comes near him.
Yeah, and it just sucks the defense in, provides space, like you said, for everyone else. And we, with an attack that is not as feared as ours is, we need to create as much space and 2-on-1 opportunities as we can. And the only way to do that is to suck defenders in, especially if you're playing at home. And you're kind of expected to be on the front foot. Other teams can kind of sit back a little bit and kind of absorb pressure, especially with United, with the speed that they have in Anthony and Rashford. That could definitely hurt Chelsea, especially pushing up the wing backs who can't defend. And Loftus-Cheek, I love Loftus-Cheek, but he is not, you can tell a difference between a defender and a not a defender because of their positioning and the way that they kind of run back and their mindset, what they think of to do first. Loftus-Cheek obviously does not have that. I love the fact that he likes to get on the ball and drive, and that's fantastic. But as a wing back, he doesn't have that. And Chilwell hurt. Cucurella is going to start there. He came off at halftime, or not at halftime, at like 70th minute. That's when Sterling came on. I hate Sterling being a left wing back. I hate Pulisic being a left wing back. I just need that to stop happening. It sucks with the injuries that we've got. So for me, in this one, I'm going with the draw. I think Chelsea's energy will be able to fight back and get on the board, but I expect United to score off of a counterattack with the speed that they have. I think that's going to cause a lot of problems for Chelsea. Chelsea haven't conceded in 5 games with Kepa, which is fantastic, but I have that being broken. Like you said, we expect United to score in this one. You agreeing with the draw?
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, bringing up Loftus-Cheek, I think he's a natural number 10.
He is great driving with the ball.
And really, Mason Mount, he's a natural number 10.
I don't know what he is.
You have Conor Gallagher. He's a natural number 10. You have a team. You just have a team full of number 10s, and you don't even play that position.
Yeah, I mean, see, that's the thing with the English center midfielders, because I don't understand them at all. Like, I wouldn't call Foden a winger or a number 10. I wouldn't call Mount a winger or a number 10. I wouldn't call Gallagher a center mid or a number 10. They're just in between. Jack Grealish, same exact problem that he's having.
Well, he's not a winger. Why he's his problem.
Integrated. He's not a winger either, but he's playing as that inside forward. And I just don't get that position at all, because I feel like it doesn't utilize any strength. I don't know what to do with him. I love Mount because of his energy that he provides. His combination play, his shooting when he is on it. We saw 2 goals last week against Palace. Is fantastic. And that's why you put players like that. They can dribble, they can pass, they can do a little bit of everything, but they're not great at any one thing per se, which a center midfielder would be. You would expect a Sask or a Jorginho or a De Bruyne who could play any kind of pass. A winger, you would expect more like a Sterling who can, when on form, can beat anybody, or a Dembele, or, these kinds of wingers type. And they are in between that for me. They can't dribble past everybody and they can't make a perfect pass, but they can do a little bit of both. And it's just an interesting thing, but we will see. Great game here. Brentford traveled to Aston Villa. Villa got a game tomorrow against Fulham and turn around and play on Sunday. Brentford at home drawing 0-0 to Chelsea today. Who do you got in this one?
I'm going to go with Aston Villa in this game because they're at home. I think they're going to win tomorrow. I think that they're going to pull this one out. I don't see Brentford scoring. I know Ivan Toney's had a few goals here and there, but I just don't see them scoring.
Yeah, I think Aston Villa, this is the perfect game for them to kind of bounce back and get maybe that quality going. They had a great performance last week against Chelsea. They play tomorrow against Fulham. We'll see how that one goes. I think they're starting to build that attack together. We talk about it across all of our shows here about putting pieces together and building an offense, especially the NFL. We talk about it with the Vikings in particular, how they've been able to start gelling and get that offense going. I think Villa will do something similar here. They got too many great pieces at home. I know it's a short turnaround for them, but I think against Brentford, it sits up nicely for them. So I agree. 3 points to Villa on Sunday. Fulham, again, they play tomorrow, but then they travel to Leeds in this one. Do you see Leeds picking up all 3 points at home, or do you see the Fulham, who just seems to give everybody have a chance in almost every game here? Do you see them with Mitrovic getting back to full health, getting something from this one?
I think they really could. I think this is going to be a draw because I do think that they're going to be in it and they're going to fight and they just won't go away. They're that team that you just don't want to have to deal with because they don't go away. They play everybody tough. So I'm thinking a draw on this one. I think Leeds are pretty poor right now. I think they could be better, much better than they have been. But I don't know what's going on with Leeds, and they have a few good players, but I think this will be a draw.
I agree. Fulham, compounded a little bit with a Mitrovic injury, but only 1 win in their last 5 games. And Leeds have they started off well. That great performance everyone remembers against Chelsea, where they put it on them, 3-0 win there. I could see a draw. I would lean Leeds a little bit, but I am comfortable with saying that this will be a draw. I don't know if I could pick a winner out of it. I think that's mainly why I say
that's
that.
That's my only thing. I think Mitrovic will score, and I don't know if Leeds will score too. That's really my only thing. I think Leeds are going to score as well, but I just don't know if they're going to score 2. They could go out and score 4 because they're good enough, but they don't always seem to have that type of attitude in the game. Yeah,
Leeds only 1 goal in their last 3 games.
Exactly.
Granted, against good opposition. We saw them a couple days ago play Arsenal, only 1 goal in that one. But I agree. I think both teams have been on a little bit of a poor form due to injuries, maybe especially for a team like Fulham, but draw in this one. Leeds United States for the win. A comment here from Kevin. He has Leeds for all 3 points. Kevin, go ahead and make an account on ESPN and get your picks in so you can compare with us as we go through it. Obviously, Leeds with 3 Americans on the roster: Tyler Adams, Brendan Aronson, and Jesse March as the manager over there at Leeds. As we approach the World Cup, we will be providing you all of the coverage on the U.S. men's national team leading up to it, getting you ready, prepared, giving you all the knowledge that you're going to need to get behind this U.S. team as they go to Qatar and kick off against Wales in almost 30 days' time. So stay tuned here on the webcast for those videos. Arsenal versus Southampton. Arsenal high flying now, 4 points clear atop the table with City dropping points to Liverpool last weekend. Can they go to Southampton, who picked up all 3 points today against Bournemouth? Arsenal have a couple more days rest as they got their game, or actually they'll be playing tomorrow, so they do not get rest. They just play in the Europa League. So a short week for Arsenal, but can they go to the South Coast and picked up 3 points from Southampton?
Yes, just very simply. Yes.
You don't see that train stopping anytime soon. I agree.
I mean, I think they could play their B team and probably beat Southampton.
Yeah, well, they'll play their B team tomorrow in the Europa League against whoever they play there. They are comfortable in that group and get back to action, especially with Man City dropping points, their first game in the Premier League. Since that, I think they're going to want to capitalize and keep things going and move their lead. Wow. Top of the table after 12 games for Arsenal. Who would have thought that we'd be saying that?
That's for sure.
Not me. That is for sure. Leicester play tomorrow. Wolves took a L yesterday. They will meet each other at Molineux on Sunday. You have we got Leicester losing tomorrow, I believe, in our previous pick. We got anything changing Sunday?
I think Wolves are going to win this one. I think Traore got on the score sheet last week or in the last game. And, you know, Diego Costa coming in, that's huge for them.
Yeah.
I think
he gets a brace, in my opinion, on Sunday.
You think so?
Diego Costa with a brace.
I can get on board with that. And I think Traore is at least one assist on one of those goals.
All right, there you go. You heard it here first. Traore with an assist, Diego Costa with 2. Get him in your fantasy lineups if you are playing fantasy. Diego Costa with a brace, competing with Erling Haaland this weekend for highest goal scorer. Yeah. You heard it here. Newcastle with a great win today against Everton. A great goal from Almiron as they travel to Spurs, who lost today at Old Trafford. They return home. Great energy from Newcastle in their last couple of games, but games are coming thick and fast. Can they keep it up against a stout Tottenham defense and pick up anything from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, or are the Spurs taking all 3 points?
I'm nervous about this game. So as I was saying, Chelsea have about 13 number 10s on their team. We don't have one. And it's very obvious that we need somebody. You know, we never replaced Eriksen 3 or 4 years ago, and it's killing us. It's just killing us. We can't do anything except for counter. And like today against Man United, if they don't lose the ball, there's no counter. So it's pretty hard to create anything when you're a counterattacking team and nobody's losing the ball. So today we had to play with, you know, the 3-5-2, which I'm a huge fan of. It's just we play with 3 defensive midfielders. Or we have Bentancur, he's not necessarily a number 10, but he's not a defensive mid. He's just more of the solid, you know, keep the ball moving, front to back kind of guy. And, you know, I like him, but I think if we had, you know, Basuma and Højbjerg playing a little deeper, which we had in that game, we need to have somebody in that midfield that can create for Son and Kane, because Doherty he's showing he just can't keep up. He's not a great wing back, at least not in our system. He played great for Wolves, but he's just not doing it for us. And Perisic was just running all over the place today trying to follow Anthony. And so there was just, we couldn't get anything going. And I'm scared about this game because Newcastle are on a different level as far as just playing carefree, expecting to go out and just win every game because they feel they can. They believe they can. And honestly, I believe they can because they're showing they can. So I'm a little nervous about this one, but the only thing that I think is going to help us in this game is the fact that we are deeper than Newcastle and we play defensive. And I think us being able to sit back and not let them score is easier than us trying to go out and score 4. You know, we just need to score 1, and I think we could win this game. So for that reason, I will say Tottenham are going to win, but it could be a game like it was today where we just let Newcastle possess the ball all game and they get 28 shots.
Yeah, Kevin also commenting there in the chat about 28 shots for Manchester United against a team.
That's insane. I don't know if that's got to be a record.
I don't know. City, I don't know. City a couple weeks ago, they are in the Champions League. City in the Champions League had over 30 some attempts on goal, which is absolutely ridiculous. Newcastle, after that international break, 9 goals in 2 games against Fulham and Brentford. The last 2 games, obviously playing United and Everton United and Everton in the last 2 games, only 1 goal there. The games are coming thick and fast. Tottenham are still going to play the same way that they play, which is sit back, even at home. And I think that Newcastle can bring that energy. I think you guys are deeper. I think over 90 minutes, even if Newcastle were to get on the board early, I think Tottenham can fight back. I agree, low scoring game in this one, but I think Tottenham has too much for Newcastle and takes all 3 points to bounce back after today's defeat at Old Trafford. Bournemouth, I don't know. Where are we at with Bournemouth and now? And actually with both of these teams. West Ham today losing to Southampton. Bournemouth losing as well. Bournemouth losing to Southampton today. West Ham losing to Liverpool away at Anfield. Sorry, correction there. But who do we got in this one? 2 teams that I feel like we can never make our mind up about.
No, we can't. And I don't think that I honestly I thought that in the beginning of the season, West Ham could have easily been 3-6-2. And I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense. No, but whatever. And I could have almost probably said 6-3-2, because I thought that's what they were doing last season. But for them to lose 6 games, that's surprising to me. And I feel that they are a much better team than that, but they haven't shown it so far this year. But Bournemouth, we jumped on board with them, and they did us like that. This has to be a West Ham win just for that. Did they betray us?
I know they're the reason. They're the reason that we dropped 200 points in the rankings here on ESPN Pick'em. And West Ham missing a penalty, having a penalty saved today at Anfield, I think is going to energize them, get them going as they look to get back in the win column. And I got all 3 points as well with West Ham. They're the late night kickoff under the lights at the London Stadium on Sunday. And there we have it. There are all 13 of our games. Go ahead, make your account. See if you can pass us up in the rankings as we aim for number 1 across the board. Here we go. 53-41 on the season. We need to improve that. But we'll see if we can do it this weekend. We got 2 games tomorrow as well. Games are coming 63-41. There we go. All of them going in the win column. That would be fantastic. We are bringing college football to you on Friday. What a weekend we had last weekend. Seems like so long ago.
I know.
But it was absolutely incredible. We're going to recap that and give you our new picks for the upcoming week 8 in college football as things are heating up. Will 3 SEC teams make it to the college football playoff? We will give you our thoughts on Friday about that, recapping the week. So stay tuned with us. And from all of us here at the webcast, I'm Adam. That's Doug. We will see you then.